The art of communication involves listening and sharing ideas. Today, I want to talk with you about the health of the thyroid and how it is impacted by good communication and how it can be connected to many problems that people are having communicating. In natural healing, we call the thyroid the gatekeeper between your head and your heart. Hi, I'm Mary Bourne, traditional naturopath, and I love sharing natural remedies with people. Natural remedies have been around for thousands of years, used on people, for people, and they've been around that long because they work. Thank you for joining me today. It is going to be a little bit longer discussion than I normally do. In fact, it could have been an all-day summit, but I am going to give you some links to do your own research and help you to create a better thought pattern, hope to help you communicate with others' ideas and share what you feel. It is important that we don't keep all of these feelings blocked up inside of us because they can do harm. And the impact on the thyroid is really, really hard. So I hope that you give me a thumbs up and that you share these videos. As in many natural health videos, we never know how long they're going to be able to be kept up because they don't go along with the program. These are all scientific and true information, but that doesn't matter anymore. But on with the information I want to share with you. So we are told to wear masks, and many people find it difficult to talk through a mask. I personally am challenged because I'm a lip reader. It's an adjunct for my hearing. And if a person isn't facing me and I cannot read their lips, I find it difficult to hear what they're saying. Older people have difficulty hearing and they feel left out when people aren't communicating and speaking clearly. And it's very difficult to speak clearly, even speak unmasked with a mask on. And people are constantly fiddling with it. There are many difficulties with the mask wearing situation. And whether you want to wear a mask and you feel protected by it or not, that's not the issue right here. I'm just stating some facts about mask wearing, communication, and the thyroid. So what is a healthy thyroid? Well, a healthy thyroid plays a vital part in brain chemistry. So we should not be surprised that a thyroid disorder can cause unpredictable mood changes. For example, those with an overactive thyroid, which is known as hyperthyroidism, can suddenly feel tense and anxious. They may experience panic attacks, impatience, be overactive, and have an exaggerated sensitivity to noise. If you have an underactive thyroid, hypothyroidism, you may feel stressed and overwhelmed and experience depression and tearfulness and loss of appetite. Overall, you may feel a progressive loss of initiative, a dulling of personality, and you may encounter memory problems, muddled thinking, concentration, and a lack of interest or mental alertness. And these are put out by the British Thyroid Association, which you can find online as I did. Another problem are biocides. Biocides are used in sanitizing and disinfecting products. And women with any occupational exposure to biocides, such as in hospitals and health centers, are seeing that there's 48% more likely to develop thyroid cancer, while men had more than tripled their odds. So that's a study done in a health institute. So more than 12% of US population will develop a thyroid condition during their lifetime. An estimated 20 million Americans have some form of thyroid disease. A lot of people in the Midwest have difficulty getting enough iodine in their diet. Those people that live near the ocean are less likely. Now, years ago, it used to be presented as a goiter, and they've changed that. You don't see difficulty with goiters that much anymore. It is more about thyroid cancer or thyroid disease like hyperactive or hypoactive. So up to 60% of these thyroid diseases are unaware of these people who have thyroid disease are unaware that they even have them. So women are 5 to 8 times more likely than men to have thyroid problems, and 1 woman in 8 will develop thyroid cancer. So it's really a big concern, especially because of the cleaning products, which these things, both cleaning products and food, can be something we can do something about. It's unavoidable. Rather, it's avoidable. What is unavoidable is the fact that people are not being told. And that is a concern that I have, that many experts are not able to present these facts to you. So these numbers are from the American Thyroid Association, and you can find them on the internet by looking at thyroid.org. And I will link most of these, the links to you that I think that you would be interested in doing more research in helping you support better health. So when we are told to sanitize everything these days by using chlorine, we know that chlorine is a bully. It takes up the receptor sites for iodine, and iodine is necessary for the thyroid to produce T4 and T3. So when you get tested and they test your T4 numbers, they are really actually testing what the pituitary can put out. They're not actually, there is no test right now that shows the activity of T4 and the conversion it takes into T3. And under stress, it does a loophole and you get reverse T3, which shows as T3, but actually causes damage to the thyroid. So it bothers me a lot when I see advertisements of Clorox wipes and children are wiping counters down and their nose is right next to the wipe and they're smelling that chlorine and affecting their thyroids in the meantime, the ability for the thyroid to get the iodine it needs. So plugging up these receptor sites with this noxious gas is not acceptable. So stay away from Clorox wipes. And if you are in a pool, make sure that you shower, a chlorinated pool. Make sure that you shower immediately after. Don't let that chlorine seep into your skin. It can off-gas a bit in sunshine, but it is better to take a nice shower right afterwards so that you can get as much of that off your skin. The skin is the largest absorptive organ that we have, and we need to protect it as much as we can. don't breathe in those fumes, and don't let your skin absorb it. So the concern that with the biocides is that there are a lot of products, as you can see down here, that have it, but are being sold. And where you can go is the Environmental Workers Group website, which is ewg.com, and they have a complete list of what is safe and what isn't. So I encourage you to go there and examine your cleaning product and perhaps change it up for something with essential oils and unscented soap. So the thyroid is the gatekeeper between your head and your heart. What does that mean? So it means sometimes what you're feeling and what you're thinking war with each other. And a lot of times what you're thinking is not really your thoughts, but they're things that have been put there. And so they come out your mouth, but it isn't really what's in your heart. And this really affects the thyroid. There's been many studies on how the inability to say what you mean affects our not our entire life, not just our thyroid. So a lot of times this depends on your ability to trust. Now, even last year, if you went into a grocery store or a bank and somebody behind you had a mask on, would you not be suspect? The first impulse is to distrust, and that comes from our instincts. It's an automatic response that if somebody doesn't want to show their face, then you should not trust them. And so having honest discourse between people is dependent on being able to read facial expressions according to communication experts. So this is communication coach Alex Lyon, and I'll put the link in the description below, but he has many videos on what the importance of face-to-face contact with people and how it works with better communication. He coaches whole companies on better communication. And whenever you are problem solving or doing creative communication, you need to do your best to show your whole face so that expressions can be read by each other and build trust. If you cannot go without a covering, stand far enough away and take the masks off. I mean, if facial, if your droplets are protected at 6 feet, then you don't need a mask. And if masks work, why do I need to wear a mask? You should feel comfortable that you are being protected if you're wearing a mask. You know, do I go jogging so that you can lose weight? No. So see my video on the heart, body, and brain connection on my YouTube channel. And also I put one in there on how the immune system works and some facts about COVID, because you know what? You're not being told the real deal here. So we need to have honest discourse in our communication. So you might say, well, yeah, but it's a law. All right, well, let's look at the difference between mandates and laws. So a mandate can be issued due to a state of emergency and has a limited time in which it is covered under law. But it is not a law. It is covered under the law, but it is not a law. After the limited time has expired, which is usually 30 days, then the mandate has to go to committee. Now, that never happened here in the state of Michigan. It has yet, it is August, it has yet to go to committee. So we have the right to choose whether we cover our face or not. If social distancing works, why do we also have to cover up? So you can find this information, and I will be sure to put this link in the description below. And it explains the difference between mandates and laws and how a law is made in the state of Michigan. And if you come from another state, that you can find that by going to whatever state you are.gov, and that will be right there, how a law is made. So an idea or a mandate has to be referred to a standing committee. If it's in the Senate, it's done by the majority leader, and if it's in the House of Representatives, it's by the Speaker of the House. So committee members consider a bill by discussing and debating the bill. That has not been done. The committee may also hold public hearings. That has not been done. So the full process of the law or making a law, you can see that website. So communication is the key. Finding it difficult to speak may involve several things: not feeling secure, mistrust, and this is it's an instinctual, non-thought out process in which we gather information. When people wear masks, they're not to be trusted. So thyroid insufficiency is also something. So this is something you should check out by a medical doctor, but also I'll have some suggested foods and supplements that you can take. So a lack of iodine-rich food, not iodized salt. Sea salt is a better choice. It's a natural way of getting iodine. So here's the thing. There is a Dr. David Brownstein who is known as a thyroid expert, and he has a blog. So this is what he posted. Strange times indeed. The Federal Trade Commission has stifled many authorities in health. Dr. Brownstein has been a noted thyroid specialist and written several books on it. And he put down, to my loyal readers, I want to let you know that we have been ordered by the Federal Trade Commission to stop making any statements about our treatment protocols of vitamins A, C, and D, as well as nutritional IVs, iodine, ozone, and nebulization to support the immune system and respect to coronavirus. Now, to me, that's criminal. If we cannot hear the whole truth, then how can we determine in our own hearts what we want to do about this? So, I agree that COVID is a serious thing. Back in March and April, we were gathering information. And what we found out was that the immune compromised and the elderly were the ones that were dying from it. So I resent that as a healthy human being, I have to act like a sick person. I resent that I can't be friendly and hug people like I normally would. I resent the fact that I can't sing in church. And I don't know how you feel about these things, but the fact that you're not getting the full story about how the immune system works is very upsetting to me. I've been in the health field for over 40 years. And this to me is appalling that our government does not allow us to share information with you that is truthful and factual. So let's look at the 5 foods that improve thyroid function. And this is according to St. Luke's Health, and you can find it on stlukeshealth.org. So 5 foods that improve thyroid function are roasted seaweed such as kelp, nori, wakame, are naturally rich in iodine, a trace element needed for normal thyroid function. Salted nuts, Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts, and hazelnuts are excellent sources of selenium, which helps support healthy thyroid function. baked fish, frozen yogurt. You probably are delighted to see that one. So, and fresh eggs. So these are things that we should uh, make sure that we're getting in our diet. And if you can't get it, then make sure that you're taking a kelp supplement or Irish moss or something that's going to support your thyroid, because with so many people having undiagnosed thyroid conditions, I think it just makes sense to eat these healthy foods and make sure that you're getting things that are a quality. If you're buying supplements, make sure that they come from a company that pays good attention to quality. So, as you know, I'm a researcher, and it makes it increasingly difficult when I can't find, even on the internet, sources that are telling the truth and not just speaking to the agenda. So it is strange times indeed. The books written by Dr. Brownstein are Ozone, the Miracle Therapy, Avoiding Breast Cancer While Balancing Your Hormones, Heal Your Leaky Gut, the Hidden Cause of Many Chronic Diseases, Iodine, Bringing Back the Universal Medicine, The Skinny on Fats, Overcoming Thyroid Disorders, and more. He's written about blood pressure and salt. And yet the FTC has banned him from making statements that he's an expert about. It just makes no sense to me. So if you only hear one view, how can you decide what is best for you? If experts are not allowed to share their knowledge about health because the news are afraid to offend their financial supporters, which of course is big pharma. If you look at all of the rhetoric that is on the news and then look at who's advertising, they're bought. And there is a movie that you can see on YouTube about bought. So here's a list. Now, if everything they said was correct, we would be the healthiest nation of all. But do you realize these: Singapore, Japan, Switzerland, South Korea, Norway, Hong Kong, Iceland, Denmark, the Netherlands, and Austria are the top 10 in health. We're the 38th, and we're the 58th when you consider all of healthcare, which includes 12 pillars that this prosperity.com indexes. And this is a well-known statistical ranking that many people will cite. They say they include the health systems, how easy it is to obtain healthy information, the diet of the people, how they're being coached on better eating, the illnesses with which people deal with, the balancing of medications and risk factors. In our country, it's all about pushing the medication and forget about the risk factors. And that is especially true in vaccines because there's no recourse for suing them. And the other thing that they take into consideration is the economic breakdown when people make decisions, and how they've handled it. So like here in the state of Michigan, people that were already COVID active were put in nursing homes. And to me, that just shows an increase of death. I mean, it was a terrible mistake, and it should never have been done. So the art of communication and the thyroid, and you know what, we're in the land of the brave and the free, and we no longer have the ability to share honest scientific information because it doesn't meet with the approval of those in charge. So doing research is even more difficult because Google is owned we know, of course, Facebook is censored. And a lot of these good places of research are censored and they're put in Facebook jail. So I like greenmedinfo.com, Mercola.com. These are great resources for information. Dr. McCullough is constantly interviewing experts in their field, people who have been in their field studying the immune system and how it works and what it takes to have a healthy immune system. So I will put links in the thyroid supports that I recommend to my clients and how they can better their health. But I want you to keep in mind, seek first to understand rather than to be understood when trying to communicate and build good relationships. And hopefully our schools won't make the teachers wear masks, because how can they communicate to our children what is necessary when they've got their mask on and they're trying to talk? How can the children in the back of the room find good information from that type of procedure? So please try to find information about how the immune system works. Our immune system is designed to be challenged. It is part of why it works so well is because we're exposed to viruses and bacteria all the time. And when we constantly sanitize and we constantly bubble wrap each other, then it's not getting the information and it's going to be weaker. It's just like when you lie in bed for weeks at a time in a hospital, you basically have to learn how to walk all over again. And so that's what we're doing to our immune system. So I hope that you share these videos and you like it, and hope the information has been helpful for you and that I've maybe cleared up some of the confusion that you've had. And if you look at my YouTube channel, you will find a lot more health videos. And if this video isn't taken off the air, then you can share it with other people and hopefully help yourself be healthier. So please like and share these videos. Do what you can to be healthy. Keep your heart and your head in the right direction. Listen to your heart and keep focusing on gratitude and good health and love and kindness, and be appreciative of all the wonderful flowers and nature around you. And I want to thank you for viewing for today. And this is Dr. Mary for the Health of It. Until next time.